Hi guys, SwifTsYT here, and today I'm bringing you another video on my road to prestige for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And once again I haven't uploaded since Tuesday, and it's now Saturday, sorry, so 4 days. This will go up very late Saturday anyway, because it's a 19 and a half minute video. If you're wondering why it's that long, no, the games wasn't that long. There's 3 games in this episode, so they're all around about 6 minutes and 20 seconds long. Roundabouts. Anyway, the reason I've put three games in this one episode is because obviously I haven't been uploading, and the reason for not uploading is, like I said in the last episode, which is the Walking Dead review, it is because, as you know, I would be doing reviews on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. Saturdays being the Legends of Tomorrow's one, that's why you're watching this now, which we'll get into that in a minute. And while the Flash and Arrow are both on break, I haven't had anything to upload on Thursdays and Fridays. But I was thinking to myself though, I haven't been uploading The Walking Dead. Like after that video, I think it was yesterday actually. I was thinking about it. I haven't been uploading The Walking Dead reviews on Wednesdays. I've been putting them up on Tuesdays, which goes against the schedule I did actually say, which I believe was on Wednesdays. It was The Walking Dead. Everything else is the day after. Well, the reason I know that I did that is I mentioned this. I don't think I have actually mentioned it. Actually, I mentioned in the schedule that I was not going to do like Supergirl reviews because there's not much to talk about in them episodes. So that's on the. I see that on the Monday morning. No, I see that on Tuesday morning. Walking Dead's Monday morning. Normally, well, the Flash is Wednesday morning, and that goes up on Thursdays. Arrow, when Thursday mornings, goes up on Friday. Legends Tomorrow, Friday morning, goes up on Saturday. The reason for that is that I watch it on their mornings when I get home from school. I normally record the episodes, or the commentaries, or both, and then I put it up for the next day, or I put it on the privated for the next day. I would put it on schedule to upload, but you can't. There's not that option on the Xbox. So yeah, that's pretty much it is. And because that gap between Walking Dead and Flash, which would be Supergirl, is gone, I've put them two together, meaning that the Walking Dead skips a day, which I haven't been doing that anyway. Like I said, it's going to be going up on Tuesdays like a normal review would have done for me. But anyway, enough of that. The review. Legends of Tomorrow, episode number 8, I want to say. I always forget what episode it is. I actually watched this yesterday around about 10 AM or something like that. No, that couldn't have been, could it? Watched it after school. Must have been around about 3:30 I watched it. So the reason I didn't watch it before school is that I just completely forgot that it was on, to be honest, because I actually thought it was on break, but it wasn't. And I kind of went back to sleep and woke up a lot later than I expected to. Like I said, I forgot about it, so I didn't watch it in the morning. I remembered about it after school, so I watched it after school. But while I quickly check what episode it was, we will get straight into it. The Legends of Tomorrow. Right, we start off on the previous episode. Mick Rory. At the end, this is you suspect he's dead because but you don't actually know, so you don't know if he's dead or not. And I don't know how many times I've done that and how many times it's been cut. It's so annoying. I just need to keep an eye on how much is there. Anyway, yeah, we don't know if Mick Rory's dead. He's not in this episode at all because it wants to. You want to know if he it's gonna keep it like that. I guarantee, I do think he's dead. I just do. I don't see him coming back. They've left him in 2046, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, it was episode 8. The only reason, by the way, if I quickly get back into it, the reason I thought it was on break is because everything else was on break for DC anyway, and the website I get it from, it has the dates next to it. Episode 7, the 3rd of March, which is the Wednesday. Wait, no, the Thursday. Sorry, it's the Thursday when it goes live in or airs in America, and then it says the 24th of March, which is the Thursday in 3 weeks after that. So me thinking that it's on break is because of this website, and then The reason I knew it wasn't on break afterwards is because I kept seeing things from Legends of Tomorrow's page on Facebook. But anyway, aside from that, the episode's called Night of the Hawk, and it was a really good episode. Like I said, we start off with it in 1958, I think it is. It's got a little scene from some time ago at this some young there's two young drivers on the quad bikes. On each of the bikes there's two or more people. There's two guys on one, and there's a guy called Tommy and his girlfriend on the other one. Tommy and his girlfriend, or Tommy ends up crashing because his wheel pretty much blows up and sets alight. And yeah, they crash next to some meteorite, which then Vandal Savage, or in the episode is called Curtis Knox, which I will touch on in a couple more. Give me a couple more minutes and I'll touch on that. But obviously it's a past life, isn't it? So, well, it's not his past life, you know what I mean? Past generations and all that. But anyway, like I was saying, yep, they crash. His girlfriend has got a bit of a split head, I think, and then Tommy gets, you don't actually see it, but Tommy gets taken. You know that because of the third bit and further of the episode. So basically the people that are left in the group is Snart, Rip, Sarah, Jax, I can't even Ray and Kendra. There you go, that's the name. I think it was last week's review, I actually forgot Kendra's name. I just ended up calling her Princess Shiara because that's the name from 4,000 years ago. But this game has come to a close. The other two games are Combine, by the way. If you don't know what this is Hunted. But anyway, they all take on different, well, they don't all take on different jobs, they go in like pairs. But I will touch on the pairs in a minute. I'll actually touch on the rest of it in a minute into the next game, so I'll give it about 15 seconds and I will be back in game 2. Rightio, and we are back in game 2. We are on Combine for the first time in this video. The next one is straight after this. And keep your eye open for around about 70 kills in. I actually get shotgunned in the back by my friend who just joined session and did the best on their team based on KD, but he wasn't in long, so he couldn't do overpowered shit anyway. We are going to touch on the things I said. Before we go into they split off into pairs and stuff, I'll touch on Curtis Knox, or Vandal Savage, playing the role of Curtis Knox. Right, if any of you watched it live or just caught up watching it from Smallville, you will know there was a the Doctor Knox, which experimented on what did he experiment on Smallville? I don't know if it was Patience. Yeah, it was Patience. It was Patience. 100%. He tried to he was immortal, so this is where Vandal Savage plays into the role of it. This is why they were allowed to use it. I know it all comes from the DC universe, but because he was immortal and his wife wasn't, he tried to use Patience to make her immortal. And in Smallville, they use plenty of Patience, but there's one what's stuck in mind, what I remember, and that was Chloe Sullivan, because she was one of the main characters. If you don't know who that is Overwatch. That was Overwatch of Smallville, so pretty much the Felicity Smoke of Smallville, because Smallville was pretty much before Arrow. It was like after Arrow's time actually, because Smallville was obviously the town. Overwatch is actually in Metropolis, and Oliver Queen, played by Justin Hartley, I think that was his name, in Smallville, moved from Star City, because it mentions it, from Star City in season 6 when they first got put into it. He moves from Star City to Metropolis. So yeah, there you go. Enough about Smallville now, and pretty much the whole base of me talking about Smallville was because of Curtis Knox. Like he did the same here. He was. You don't. Well, you do see his wife actually. His wife isn't dying or ill when you notice them. She's actually nice and well. When she lives in the same neighbourhood is where Roy, not Roy, it's not freaking Arrow, Ray Palmer and Kendra pretend to be married are. They have a house so they could just know it. The wife, so Mrs. Knox, Gail Knox, knocks on the door and welcomes them with some casserole. That's it. Gives them some casserole for dinner. That is the scene after the scene where I did it again, didn't I? Oh well. That scene from when Kendra and Ray met Knox / Vandal Savage is directly after. Hang on, got to move up so I can see properly. Directly after the scene where Sarah, yes, from Sarah seeing the image of Savage being Knox on the wall of the hospital, because Sarah and Stein are working or took on jobs as doctors and a doctor and a nurse in the hospital. So yeah, they found that out. Rip Hunt or Jax went on to Tommy's girlfriend to find out some information, and they ended up going on a date. So Tommy's technically girlfriend, because he was a missing suspect. They didn't know what happened to him, but in later on in the episode, you know he's actually been, from the meteorite at the start, he's been injected with that and he's turned into a Hawk. Like Hawk girl pretty much, but a very evil one that can't be salvaged like all of them are. You can't salvage any of them. But anyway, enough of that. He goes on the date with her, and then Tommy actually gets out of the test, or out of the hospital, flies around, claws someone to death, and Vandal Savage gets a bit pissed, pretty much. So yeah, there's that. And then Jax actually gets captured. Hang on, before he gets captured properly, Tommy's girlfriend, Tommy as the bird, or the he doesn't know who he is. There's just something controlling him, like a phantom. Like, well, I'm going to talk a bit about Smallville again, as like the phantom, what controlled people in Smallville. It was pretty much a phantom inside of him, but he didn't know about it. No, none of them really did in Smallville either. But yeah, it was like a bird controlling him. He ended up scratching the neck of his own girlfriend, putting her in severe damage. She got put back to the ship, and Gideon fixed her pretty much. And then yeah, Jax got stolen, but we'll touch on a bit more in the next clip. And I didn't do it that time, did I? I was prepared. But we are into the final game, so I'm going to have to say this. It's quite a decent episode, really, isn't it? There's a lot what happens. Anyway, yeah, so Jax gets knocked out by a police officer and taken straight to Knox's operation. He gets injected with the same stuff Tommy and a load of other patients did. He also turns into a Hulk, an uncontrollable one. And then, yeah, Kendra, they all talk about it as well. They don't know where he's gone. They try to track him down, but then they enter the hospital. Oh, wait, before we go on that, Sarah gets a bit frisky with another nurse in the hospital, because in 1958, which was the time it was set in, all the doctors were hitting on all the nurses, and she understood. Sarah just recognised that the one nurse didn't appreciate it, and she was not, in fact, interested in the male, or in men, pretty much. And she figured that out, and then yeah, Sarah got kissed by the nurse, and she got pretty much very skeptical about it and ran off like it was her first time doing it after, because it's the first time she's actually kissed someone after she got revived from the dead. So it's like a first time for her again. And yeah, pretty much. Yeah, then Kendra, they find a knife actually. Before I say that, Ray uses the atom suit and shrinks down underneath a secret door he found earlier in the episode in Savage's house, and he finds the knife. The knife that only, or that can kill him from Kendra's use only. She gives it, Kendra takes it and it's going to take him down once and for all, but she puts it in a purse and Savage moves the purse. Not opening it, you don't see him open it, but he has the knife, and as she tries to go for it, Randall Savage tries to kill her, but she's got some nice punches, knocks him back. He lets out all his test subjects, including Jax, to attack everyone, and then, yeah, Sarah saves the nurse that she ran away from the kiss earlier in the episode by knocking one of them out as a ninja, and then she saves she saves, I forgot his name, Snart, there you go, saves Snart and Stein from Jax and knocks him out, takes him back to the ship, and they find, or they have a cure for it, and they cure everyone and Jax, so they all end up being fine, everyone, like Tommy and all that. Sarah tells the nurse that she has to go. Same thing with Jax and Tommy's girlfriend, which now Tommy's back with because he's fine again, so he couldn't go anything, but back in the next segment and the final segment. Right, we are back into the final segment of the video, and with the last bit of the thing as well, they all go back. Sarah, Jax, I want to say, and Kendra are all running a little bit late because I was talking to some people, and obviously saying goodbye to their peoples and stuff, and yeah, he's making an appearance in a lot of episodes lately. The Time Master, can't remember his name actually, is once again attacking. I can picture his name, but I can't remember it for some reason. He attacks the ship once again. They fall back to the jump ship, everyone, and then I think the Time Master that attacks everyone. And by the way, in this little opening segment, we get killed a lot, and we get spawn killed here as well, because I didn't know where he was, and he was sitting in the corner. So yeah, I think it's like a 6 death streak or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I think the Time Master, you don't see him enter the ship, but I expect he enters the ship and flies it off, just under the noses of Sarah, Kendra and Jax, who all witness it go off by him, and they pretty much left there. So pretty much wherever the time ship's gone, the Time Master, who's out to get Rip Hunter, is aboard the ship, flying it, and has left 3 of the main characters back in 1958. I'm guessing next episode we'll return to 1958 and find them. If not, that'll be the episode after, but they'll get to 1958 at the end of the next episode. So either one of them, but we'll obviously touch on that next Saturday in the next review. So that's pretty much done. That was 16 minutes of pure review, which is pretty decent, since I wouldn't have done that in 2 games. Well, I would have found a way, but I'm glad I didn't. A lot more to talk about. I was actually dreading putting 3 games in one, because I didn't think I'd be able to talk throughout the whole however minutes it was, but apparently I can now. It was a decent episode. But anyway, where's the review without the rating? I'm going to give this episode a nice big fat 8.7 out of 10. It was a brilliant episode. Probably one of the better ones. Actually, nah, 8.7 is a bit too low. I'm going to give it a 9.3. There you go, that's more like it. But we are coming to the end of the video, of the special episode with 3 anyway. I'm going to do some more with 3 episodes in it, so stay tuned for that. But in the description there'll be a link to my Twitter, Twitch and Facebook. There'll be my Gamertag, just in case you want to add it and have a conversation with me. If not, leave a comment in the description. Oh bollocks, I said it once again. Leave a comment in the comments. It just makes sense to say comments in the description. But anyway, if you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you later.